How's everybody doing? It's Alex LaRosa. I'm here in my office today, and I wanted to take a quick minute to give you guys a few quick pointers if you're currently in the market as a buyer. Now, as you know, the current market conditions are a little bit kind of awkward, right? Inventory is really dry, and we also are getting an increase in interest rates. And some people are being priced out of the market, unfortunately, here in San Diego, California. Right now it's mid-2018, we're right in the middle of June, and we're expecting the inventory to continue to dry out a little bit more, which is still creating a seller's market. And as a buyer, that can be really frustrating. So I want to give you guys 3 very helpful tips that are going to help you along the way. The very first tip that I want to give you is make sure you get pre-approved or pre-qualified. Now, there is a difference between both, all right? Getting pre-approved means you basically have a conversation with the lender, exchange some information such as your income, your possible credit situation, what your ideal payment would, you would like for it to be, and so on and so forth. But it's basically just kind of taking a rough application with a lender or a mortgage specialist and giving them some information. Now, this isn't something that they do in a very detailed way. So they don't actually go over documentation like they would in a pre-qualification. So that's the difference. Pre-approval is just a rough exchange of information between you and a lender, and a pre-qualification, they're actually going to verify all the documentation of your income, tax returns, your credit history, your liabilities, and you're going to know exactly how much you qualify for, and you're going to have concrete, tangible numbers. Now, this is big leverage for you as a buyer, because now when you're presenting an offer and you actually have a formal pre-qualification letter from your lender, well, this has a lot more weight, and this puts you in a position where you're going to be able to, put the seller in a situation where now they're ready to make a decision based on you being a well-vetted and well-qualified buyer. Okay, so make sure you have leverage if you're going to be submitting offers and being an active buyer out there. Okay. The second thing is if you need to sell a property, which right now is a very common scenario. Maybe you bought a property a couple of years back when the market was a little bit lower, and with the increase of values, now you're ready to cash in on that equity and upgrade, right? It's common. It's actually signs of a perfectly healthy market. So if you're in a position where you need to sell a property to then buy, okay, sell first, okay? Make sure you don't put yourself in a position where, you go out there, you're house hunting, you're submitting offers left and right, and then you finally get one accepted and you don't even have your house on the market. Or even worse, you might be in a situation where you're submitting offers like crazy, but because you don't have your house on the market, and you're in that position where, you've really taken that step forward to list your home, market your home, and try to sell it, well, they may not even entertain your offer, because now you've got this contingency for the sale of the property, but you haven't even put your property on the market. That makes you look really bad. So my advice to those that need to sell to buy is list your home, okay? Be aggressive in marketing your home, and keep in mind that you have a contingency that you will put in place before accepting any offer, where if any buyer wants to buy your home, you will now only accept this offer and move forward with opening escrow if you get your offer accepted on the home that you're going to be purchasing. So you do have certain provisions and measures that you can take to protect yourself, so that you don't end up accepting an offer, opening escrow on your home, and then kind of being left in a situation where you're not in a house yet. So that's tip number 2. And tip number 3 is very simple. Get yourself a buyer's agent, all right? A lot of people nowadays, and I'm actually overwhelmed more and more by the amount of people that I talk to that say, oh, you know what? We're just gonna kind of do this ourselves. We don't need the help of an agent. We have access to platforms online where, we can find a home ourselves. Finding a home is just one part of what real estate agents do. In fact, that's probably the smallest part, okay? It's once you find the right home where you really are gonna need somebody to go to bat for you, okay? Because first of all, there's a lot of legalities, okay? And, there's strategies that are involved. And keep in mind, you as a buyer might buy 4 or 5 homes in your life, Whereas, us as real estate professionals, we might sell 4 or 5 homes a month, okay, for several years. So do the math. If we have experience, we know how these transactions work, and we're here to help you. We're here to go to bat for you. That being said, be cautious about going direct with the listing agent. A lot of people also like to work directly with the listing agent, and that might not be the right strategy either. The reason is that the listing agent has a binding agreement, okay, to represent the seller. Okay, the seller's interest is number one for the listing agent, not yours. You may have just met the listing agent at an open house, or you may have called them because you found the property online, and if that's the case, then they're out there to protect the interest of the seller, number one. Okay, they don't know you very well, all right? So unless you have a relationship with that agent in the past and you've been working with them and they happen to say, hey, I'm listing a property, I would definitely stay away from that. Get yourself a buyer's agent, all right? Get yourself somebody that's gonna go to bat for you and really protect your interest as a buyer, and make sure that everything that's negotiated is negotiated in a way where you've got the proper contingencies in place, the proper time frames. Being a seller's market right now, sellers are getting very aggressive with counteroffers. They're asking for reduced loan contingency periods. They're asking for buyers to waive appraisal contingencies. They're using a lot of resources that they can to put provisions on the contract that puts them in a more comfortable situation. So definitely get yourself a buyer's agent and have them represent you until the end. I think it's a much more intelligent way to do business if you're buying, and build a relationship with somebody and be faithful to that agent. We do work hard, and I know for sure that when we work with you, we protect your interest, until the very end, and then after the transaction. We're always available after you close escrow if there's anything that we can do to help you, if any situations pop up. So having that relationship is very important, right? Life is about relationships, and there's not any exceptions when it comes to real estate. Guys, I hope that these are helpful tips. If you guys have any questions, as always, reach out to me, Alex Lombroso. My wife, Angela Lombroso, is also available for you 24/7. We are real estate gladiators, and we want to make sure that you succeed in all of your real estate goals. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon.